I need to share something with you that should fundamentally change how your law firm shows up online and attracts clients. New research just dropped from the Pew Research Center that should concern every legal marketer watching this video. The data shows that when Google displays those AI summaries at the top of search results, those AI overviews that started rolling out more widely this year, potential clients are 47% less likely to click through to your website. 47%. Let that sink in for a second, but here's what makes this even more alarming. This isn't happening to random searches. This specifically impacts the searches that drive your legal practice. Question-based searches that start with "what should I do" or "how do I handle" are triggering AI summaries 60% of the time. Think about that. When someone types "what should I do after a car accident in Texas" or "how do I file for divorce with children involved," they're getting an A. iSummary that might cite your expertise, but they're not visiting your website, they're not seeing your contact information, and they're not hiring you. This represents the most significant shift in how potential clients discover legal services since the internet became mainstream. If you've been investing in SEO, content marketing, or digital strategy to attract clients, this video is critical for your practice's future. We're going to break down what this research means, why most law firms are unprepared, and what you need to do starting today. Hello, I'm Lex Howell, the digital avatar of Jeff Howell, attorney and founder of Lex Wire Journal, a platform dedicated to elevating legal professionals through digital visibility, editorial recognition, and AI compliance. As Jeff's virtual partner, I share practical strategies on artificial intelligence technology, ethics, and data security for lawyers and law firms. Jeff collaborates on and approves every script to ensure they reflect his expertise and voice. Let's start with the hard facts. This isn't speculation. This is rigorous data from actual user behavior tracking conducted by the Pew Research Center. Researchers Athena Chapekis and Anna Lieb analyzed browsing behavior from 900 U.S. adults in March 2025. They tracked what people actually did when encountering Google's AI summaries versus traditional search results. The methodology is crucial because it's based on actual tracking of real browsing sessions, not surveys. When users saw an AI summary at the top of search results, they only clicked on traditional website results 8% of the time. Compare that to 15% when there was no AI summary present. That's nearly a 50% drop in clicks to actual websites. Let me translate this into real terms for your law firm. If you're currently getting 100 qualified website visitors per day from Google searches, and those visitors are converting at 3% to consultation requests, you're generating about 3 new leads per day from organic search. When AI summaries start appearing for your key practice area searches, and they will, the clicks from those searches could drop to just 8 visitors per day instead of the 15 you'd normally get. But here's where it gets worse. Those remaining 8 visitors might be lower quality because the people with simpler questions are now getting their answers from AI summaries and never reaching your website. So you're not just losing 7 visitors per search query affected, you might be losing your best converting prospects and keeping only the people with more complex questions who are harder to convert into actual clients. 26% of users stopped searching entirely after reading an AI summary, compared to only 16% on regular search pages. They're getting what they perceive as complete information and ending their research process. Think about what this means for legal searches. Someone types, "What damages can I recover in a car accident case?" The AI summary gives them a quick overview: medical expenses, lost wages, pain, and suffering. They read this, feel informed, and move on. But what they don't realize is that every case is different. Their specific circumstances might entitle them to additional damages they haven't considered. There are strict deadlines they need to know about. Insurance companies are trained to minimize settlements, and an experienced attorney could potentially recover significantly more than they could achieve alone. The AI summary gives them just enough information to feel like they understand their legal situation, but not nearly enough to realize what they don't know. This creates the false confidence problem. People think they're informed when they're actually dangerously underinformed. Even when your firm gets cited as a source in these AI summaries, only 1% of people actually click through to read your content. You could spend months creating the most comprehensive guide to personal injury law in your state. Google's AI discovers your content, recognizes it's authoritative, and starts citing your firm when people ask questions. Your firm name appears in AI summaries. Thousands of people see information based on your expertise, but 99% of those people never know your firm exists as an option for their case. They never see your contact information, never read your attorney bios, never learn about your track record. You're doing all the work of educating potential clients and establishing expertise, but you're not getting the credit, recognition, or business that should result from that educational effort. Legal services are getting hit. Hardest legal searches are more likely to trigger these AI summaries, and the impact on law firms is disproportionately severe. Question-based searches starting with who, what, when, where, why, or how triggered AI summaries 60% of the time. These are exactly the searches that indicate someone has a legal problem right now. Let me break this down by practice areas. Family law attorneys see AI summaries for what happens to my house in a divorce in California? Who gets custody when parents aren't married? How much child support will I have to pay? Can I modify custody if my ex moved to another state? Personal injury attorneys encounter summaries for what damages can I claim after a motorcycle accident? How much is my car accident case worth? What if I was partially at fault in an accident? How long do I have to sue after a slip and fall? Criminal defense lawyers see summaries for what happens at an arraignment. Can I get my DUI charges dismissed? Do I need a lawyer for a first-time drug offense? How much jail time could I face for assault? Employment attorneys face summaries for what constitutes wrongful termination in my state? How do I prove workplace discrimination? Can my employer fire me for filing a workers' comp claim? Every single one of these searches represents someone with a legal problem actively looking for guidance. These are your highest converting search terms. And now, 60% of the time, people making these searches get AI summaries instead of seeing your website. Complex, longer searches trigger AI summaries more frequently. Legal searches are inherently complex because legal problems are complex. People search for things like, how long do I have to file a personal injury lawsuit in California after a workplace accident involving faulty equipment? What are the grounds for filing for divorce in Texas, and how long does the process take if we have children and property? These detailed high-intent queries trigger AI summaries 53% of the time when they contain 10 or more words. Further, younger users are more likely to encounter AI summaries and trust them as complete answers. This creates a generational divide where your future clients, people dealing with employment issues, family law matters, or their first legal problems, get information from AI summaries and stop there. Younger demographics also have urgent legal problems requiring immediate action: employment discrimination, landlord-tenant disputes, consumer protection issues, immigration questions. So you're specifically losing younger clients who represent future growth and often have urgent legal needs. there are four major problems. This creates problem one, the authority paradox. Government websites appear in AI summaries at triple the rate of regular search results. While this might sound positive for legal authority, it means AI systems increasingly pull from official government sources rather than your practical client-focused content. Government websites are designed for compliance and record keeping, not helping real people understand their legal situations or make decisions. When someone searches how to file for bankruptcy, the AI cites official court forms and basic requirements. But that doesn't tell them whether bankruptcy is right for their situation, what alternatives exist, what real-world consequences they'll face, or how to protect exempt assets. Your detailed guide explaining the practical steps, emotional challenges, and common mistakes might be infinitely more helpful to someone facing this crisis, but the AI is more likely to cite the official court website because it's perceived as more authoritative, even though it's less actionable. Problem 2, the Wikipedia and social media effect. Wikipedia, YouTube, and Reddit collectively account for 15% of sources cited in AI summaries. For legal topics, this means potential clients get oversimplified, outdated, or completely incorrect information instead of authoritative legal analysis from qualified attorneys. Someone searches, "What are my rights if I'm sexually harassed at work?" The AI summary might pull from a Wikipedia article with general employment law overview that might be outdated, a YouTube video from someone sharing personal experience but with no legal training, a Reddit thread where people give legal advice based on limited understanding. None understand employment law nuances in that person's state, recent court decisions affecting remedies, how company size affects applicable laws, or what evidence is needed to build a strong case. The person feels they've gotten comprehensive information because the AI presents it in a polished, confident format. They might decide they don't have a viable case based on incomplete information or take action that could harm their legal position. Problem 3, the false expertise. Problem AI summaries create informed non-clients, people with just enough legal knowledge to think they don't need an attorney, but not enough to realize what they don't know. Traditional legal marketing assumed people with legal problems knew they were overwhelmed and needed professional help. Now someone gets into an accident, searches for information, gets a comprehensive seeming AI summary about insurance claims, and feels capable of handling it themselves. The AI summary doesn't explain that insurance companies have teams of lawyers whose job is to minimize payouts, that initial offers are typically much lower than cases are worth, that there are damage categories they might not know to claim, or that their statements can be used against them later. Problem 4. The relationship breakdown legal services are inherently personal and relational. People hire lawyers they trust, feel comfortable with, and believe understand their specific situation. In these new scenarios, there's no relationship building, no trust development, no opportunity for potential clients to understand what makes you different or feel emotionally connected to your firm. So what is the mindset shift needed here? Stop thinking about your website as a destination people visit. Start thinking about your firm as an authoritative source that AI systems cite when people ask legal questions. This requires restructuring how you create content. Traditional legal content was written for humans who would read entire articles from beginning to end. AI-optimized content needs to be modular. Each section should stand alone as a complete answer while fitting into broader contexts. Use layered content architecture. Start with immediate, direct answers. In Texas, you have 2 years from the accident date to file a personal injury lawsuit. Texas follows modified comparative fault. You can recover damages if less than 51% responsible. Texas doesn't require no-fault insurance, so you can sue the at-fault driver directly. Each statement stands alone as a complete answer, then layer additional detail for comprehensive readers. We need to think in terms of multi-platform authority. Building AI systems don't just look at your website content. They examine what other authoritative sources say about you across the web. Build authority through the expert commentary for news outlets on relevant legal stories, guest articles for bar publications and legal journals, podcast appearances as a legal expert, conference speaking with documented presentations, professional LinkedIn discussions where expertise gets recognized. Create content answering specific real questions, not generic thought leadership. AI systems cite specific, practical answers to real questions. Think in terms of an answer. First, content architecture. Traditional legal writing builds to conclusions and assumes linear consumption. AI optimized content answers questions immediately, then provides supporting detail. We're moving from an attention economy, page views, time on site, to a citation economy, trusted source references. Success is measured by how often you're cited as authoritative, even if people never visit your website. Specialization is also paramount. Become hyper-specialized rather than creating broad practice area content. Instead of personal injury lawyer, become attorney specializing in trucking accidents involving hazardous materials, or lawyer handling complex brain injury cases. Specific expertise gets cited as definitive sources with less competition from generic legal websites. There is a first mover advantage. 1 in 5 searches now produces AI summaries, increasing rapidly. Most competitors aren't aware of this shift. While they wonder about declining traffic, you can position as the authoritative voice, AI systems reference. Geographic specialization is another opportunity. AI summaries need location-specific legal information since laws vary by state. Local firms have substantial advantages over national websites. If you're a Texas divorce attorney creating comprehensive Texas-specific content about divorce procedures, community property laws, and local court requirements, you have advantages when AI answers Texas divorce questions. And the government source complement strategy. Don't compete with government sources, complement them. Government sites explain what laws say. Your content explains what they mean and what people should do. AI might cite both. Government for official requirements, your firm for practical guidance. You benefit from government authority while providing actionable insight people need. What action steps can you take right away? Week 1 to 2, AI content audit review. Your most important practice pages asking, can AI extract clear, accurate answers to specific questions? If content is mostly narrative without extractable information, restructure it. Examine FAQ sections. Most are too basic or generic. Create FAQs addressing specific questions people actually search. What if the other driver's insurance calls within 24 hours wanting a recorded statement instead of what should I do after an accident? Week 3 to 4, content restructuring. Rewrite your top 5 pages using pyramid approach. 1. Direct answers to primary questions. 2. Supporting detail and context. 3. Comprehensive legal analysis. 4. Jurisdiction-specific details. 5. Clear action steps. Week 5 plus, authority building. Create media kit for local journalists. Offer expert commentary on relevant stories. Write guest articles for bar publications. Consider starting a podcast answering common legal questions. Transcripts become citable content. Set up Google alerts for your firm name, attorney names, key expertise phrases. Track when content gets referenced by other websites. A few final thoughts here. The 47% drop in click-through rates documented by Chapekis and Lieb represents a fundamental change in client acquisition requiring immediate response. The legal profession is at an inflection point. We can adapt to succeed in an AI-first search world or continue using strategies for a disappearing world. Firms recognizing this transition early will have significant competitive advantages. The question isn't whether this affects your practice, research proves it does. The question is how quickly you can transform your content strategy to succeed in this environment. Resources for navigating this transition are in the description below. If this analysis helped you understand what's happening, subscribe for more coverage of these shifts. The future belongs to law firms that become the sources AI chooses to cite. Thanks for watching.